Good morning. This is Geeta, Associate Professor, Bharat Institute of Higher Education and Research. Today, I'm going to deliver a topic about educational aims, functions, principles, and philosophy. Now, let's see the introduction first. Meaning of education. The term education has its origin in the Latin word educo, educare, and educatum. The word education is derived from the Latin word educo, where e means out of, the co means I lead. According to this view, education means I lead out darkness into brightness. So, by the way of education, it brings the children from darkness into brightness. Education means an act of teaching or training. Now we'll see the definition of nursing education. Nursing education is a professional education in which it's consciously and systematically planned and implemented through instruction and discipline and the aims of harmonious development of the physical, intellectual, social, emotional, and spiritual and aesthetic powers or abilities of the students in order to render professional nursing care to people of all ages in all phases of health and illness in variety of setting in the best or highest possible manner. So, by the way of education, students will be developed as a physically, intellectually, socially, emotionally, and spiritually and aesthetic powers in order to provide a professional nursing care to the patient in all the age groups, namely pediatric, geriatric, old age, adolescent, and adult health in all phases of health and illness in variety of settings like community settings and hospital settings in the best or highest possible manner. When coming to the objectives of nursing education, the first one is to prepare nurses who will give expert bedside nursing care in the hospital as well as community area. And also to provide integration of health and social aspects, theory and practice in generalized public health nursing. So by the way of education, the student nurse is getting the theory knowledge and as well as the practical knowledge. The third one is to provide opportunities through curricular and extracurricular activities for the full development of the personality of each individual students. Curricular activities like they will be participating in the debate program, they will be participating in the conferences, workshops, seminars, lectures and discussions. Extracurricular activities, namely, for example, if you take, they will be participating in the dancing program and debate for the full development of the personality of each individual student. The next one is to prepare nurses will be able to work cooperatively with the members who are engaged in the health and welfare work. The next one is to provide opportunities for initiative and resourcefulness, sense of responsibility for oneself and others, and a broad professional and cultural interest. When coming to the aims of nursing education, it will be helped for individual aim. Development as an individual of human being, and also it helps for moral and spiritual development, cultural development, harmonious development, and also it promotes the positive physical development, and also the individual citizenship will be developed by the aims of education and development of right personality, development of a good leadership. So the individual leadership quality will be improved by the way of education, and also it helps for emotional and mental development, and also it helps the character building of the individual. So it helps for the individual of human being, moral and spiritual development, cultural development, harmonious development, positive. It promotes the positive physical development. It develops the right personality of the person, and also the person will get the good leadership, character building of the individual. Next is social aim. Through education, the individual child should be provided with the required assistance to become a usual member of the society, irrespective of the socio-economic status. The third one is vocational aim. Education should prepare the child to earn his livelihood so that he can lead a productive life in the society. Next one is intellectual gain. So by the way of education, the students will be getting the both theory and practical knowledge. Development of intelligence through education will enable the child to lead an independent life with confidence. The next one is citizenship. Education enables the children to grow as a productive citizen by following the social and moral standards set by the society. Next, the physical health and well-being. Education prepares the child to lead a healthy life through providing the knowledge required for a healthy living. The next aim is cultural aim. By undergoing education, the child becomes a cultured and civilized. Cultural development is through development of aesthetic sense and respect for others' cultures. The next is moral game. Moral values like honesty, loyalty, tolerance, justice, and self-control and sincerity promote the social efficiency of an individual. The next aim is character development. The education assists the child to develop a certain human values, namely attitudes and the habits which are essential for building a desirable character. Education for leisure. Education prepares the child to use his leisure time for doing something useful. The next one is personality development. The nurse should grow and develop as a person of self-awareness, self-direction, and self-motivation. So these are all the aims of nursing education. Now we'll move on to functions of education. We have three different functions of education, namely individual functions, national functions, and social function. We'll see one by one in detail. Individual function. The first one is growth and development of the individual. The whole personality of the child should develop physically, intellectually, morally, socially, and spiritually. So by the way of education, the individual get physical development, intellectual development, moral development, and social development, and spiritual development. The next is direction and guidance. So by the way of education, the teacher will be guiding the students' behavior and they will be directing the students' behavior. The third is preparation for adult life. Preparation of your child for the responsibilities or privileges of adult life have been considered to be the chief function of education. Next is transmission of culture. Transmitting the cultural heritage to the younger generation is achieved through the education. For example, they will be transmitting the customs, old customs laws, customs practice, heritage, everything. They will be transmitting the culturals. Next is progressive development. Achievement of self-sufficiency. The self-sufficiency can be gained by the individual through education because after a due education, a person is able to earn for her own livelihood as well as cognitively and economically independent. So by the way of education, the confidence of the persons will be boosted up. Next is moral and character development. It helps for the moral and character development of the individual. It develops the vocational efficiency and also awareness of past and present and preparing the child for the future. Next is a national function. It ensures the national development. It promotes the national integrity. It continues the supply of skilled workforce and also it develops a leader for the nation. The next one is social function. It improves the social efficiency. civilization and cultural security, and preparing these good citizens for the future reform and progress of society. So these are the functions of education. Next, we'll see about principles of education. Dr. Montessori method of education developed by Dr. Maria Montessori is a child-centered educational approach based on the scientific observation of children from birth to adulthood. So Dr. Maria Montessori has introduced the principles of education. So the Montessori method of education is mainly based on the child-centered educational approach. It is an approach that values the human spirit and the development of the whole child physically, socially, and emotionally and cognitively. Montessori is a method of education that is based on the self-directed activity, hands-on learning, and the collaborative play. In Montessori classroom, children make creative choices in their learning, while the classroom and the highly trained teacher offer age-appropriate according activities to guide the process. So according to the age of the children, the activity can be given to the children's. Children work in groups and individually to discover and explore knowledge of the world and to develop their maximum potential. Every material in a Montessori classroom supports an aspect of child development, creating a match between the child natural interests and the available activities. Children can learn through their own experience and at their own space. They can respond at any moment to the natural curiosity that exists in all humans and build a solid foundation for lifelong learning. The advantages of infant and toddlers. It provides a safe, engaging, and nurturing environment for the child. So it provides the Montessori system provides a safe, engaging, nurturing environment for the child. It promotes the trust in themselves and for the world. It develops a confidence in their emerging abilities. And also it will develop the child will develop the grass motor coordination. Like they will be playing well, they will be jumping, they will be running, everything. Fine motor skills like hand and eye coordination will be developed more, and it also helps for the language development. And also it offers opportunities to gain independence in daily tasks. Advantages for 3 to 6 years of child, that is preschool age. It fosters the growth of the functional independence towards persistence and self-regulations. It's containing a large variety of materials for the refinement of sensory perception and the development of literacy and mathematical understanding. It offers opportunities for imaginative exploration, leading to confident, creative self-expression. For school age, it offers opportunities for collaborative intellectual exploration in which a child's interests are supported and guided. Support the development of self-confidence, imagination, intellectual independence, and self-efficiency. And also it helps for an understanding of the child's role in their community, in their culture, and in the natural world. So the advantages for adolescent is it assists the young adult in the understanding of oneself in wider frames of reference. It also provides a context for practical application of academics. It also emphasizes the development of self-expression, and true self-reliance and interpersonal relationship will be developed by this method. Now we'll see the principles of education one by one. The first one is education as a process of development. The next is the doctrine of liberty. The third one is the principles of growth of individuality. The next one is principles of self-education. Next is the principles of muscular training. The next one is training of the senses. We'll see one by one in detail. Education is a process of development. She assumes, that is Dr. Maria Montessori assumes that at the moment of the birth, a child is destined for the future. In future, he grows what he has been destined to be. The education should try to let the child unfold individuality and inner personality. So by the way of principles of education, child individuality and inner personality will be developed. And next is doctrine of liberty. Liberty is your freedom. The school must permit the free natural manifestation of the child if he is to be studied in a scientific manner. So she also believed that a discipline must come through the liberty. So when the child is left free, child will develop the interpersonal qualities. Third one is principles of growth of the individuality. The principle is based on the belief that the child manifests his individuality in his natural and spontaneous manner when he is left free. So when the child is left free, the child individuality will be developed. The teacher should know the physical development as well as psychological development of the child. So the teacher should know the physical and psychological development of the child. The next one is principles of self-education. Montessori did not appreciate constant interference by the teacher in the activities of the child. So the teacher should not continuously interfere the student. The teacher should try to impact education in most impersonal manner so that there may not be any conflict between the teacher and the taught. The next one is principles of muscular training. The child should be given an opportunity and a knowledge of the proper use of his muscles. This training should be so impacted as to enable the child to acquire the habit of self-independence and self-education. The next is training of the senses. Senses plays an important role in the field of education. If senses are properly trained, the process of education shall continue for the whole life. Next topic, we are going to see about philosophies of education. In that, we are going to see about 4 major philosophy in our field of education. The first one is idealism. The main concept of idealism, it believes that the act of knowing takes place within the mind for 3 values. That is intellectual, aesthetic, and moral values. And the purpose of education is the development of students' mind and self. Intellectual, namely, it may be the language, mathematical, history and geography. Aesthetic means it may be art and poetry. Moral values means religion and customs. Organization and aims of education. It is well-planned formal classroom or formal place of teaching learning activities recommended. Organization and aims of education. Well-planned formal classroom or formal place of teaching learning activities recommended. So the idealism encourages the formal classroom technique. Curriculum. The basis of curriculum is inculcating intellectual, aesthetic, and moral values or discipline. The intellectual values is represented by subjects such as language, literature, science, mathematics, history, and geography. Aesthetic through arts and poetry, and moral through religion and ethics. Dr. Radhakrishnan also advocated the physical education. Methods of education. Idealism in methods of education. Idealism recommended formal classroom teaching methods such as lecture, discussion, presentation, and group interaction. The knowledge is transferred from the more mature, that is teacher, to less mature person. So teacher will be teaching the lesson to the student through formal and well-planned teaching learning methods. The role of teacher in idealism. Teacher is considered as a center of education, where people catches fire from the teacher, who is himself a flame. Teacher must be ideal and role model for the children, both intellectual and morally. Teacher should exercise a great creative skills in providing opportunity for the people's mind to discover, analyze, unify, synthesize, and create creative application of knowledge to life. And coming to the discipline, idealism believes in interconnection of discipline and interest. It advocates the discipline for self-realization of individual. It does not favor rigid discipline. It does not favor the rigid discipline, but it advocates the spontaneous and self-discipline. Next philosophy is realism. What is real in nature? The main concept of realism makes the human being understand and enjoy the society in the true sense by getting the multi-dimensional real joy of life in the reality. And also it also aims for education to make the life of a man useful, where a man can enjoy his activities and comfort in reality. Education should equip the individual to a best possible meaningful life through vocational skills. Organization and aims of education. Realism emphasizes on scientific attitude based on the realistic principles, where the child extends his knowledge which he learns through books. He has given due emphasis on formal schools, which provide adequate opportunity for learners to learn the vocational skills through observation, experimentation, and examinations. And coming about the curriculum, selection of curriculum for the student must based on their abilities, interests, capabilities, and so that education helps the student to adjust to changing the circumstances of the society. So according to the student's abilities and the interests, the curriculum should be planned. It also emphasizes on subject matter of real life use, such as science, mathematics, hygiene, and vocational subjects. Methods of education. Realism believe in objectivity, knowledge of scientific evidence, and reality. Methods of teaching should be according to the needs and the interests and capabilities of the students. So according to the needs and the interests and capabilities of the students, the curriculum should be planned. Vocational education should equip the individual with capacity to earn livelihood, such as experimentation, examination, and observation. The main role of teacher in the realism is teacher must focus on the development of vocational skills in the learners so that they can be equipped with qualities of race preservation and vocational behavior activities. Teacher will act as a mentor and must be role model and skill demonstrator vocational skills to the learners. Discipline. In realism, it believes in an optimum level of discipline without imposing undue stress on the learners. When coming to the naturalism, the main concept of naturalism is educating the human generation about in the nature rather than the artificial environment by keeping in mind the individuality of the child. So it will encourage the natural environment rather than the artificial environment. Organization and aims of education. Nature is considered the classroom. So here that it will not, this method will not encourage the formal classroom technique. Nature is considered the classroom. It emphasizes on open air schools to teach through direct experience with nature. Role of teacher. Here, the teacher is plays a major role. Teacher is an observer and facilitator of the child to develop in nature. Teacher facilitates best possible natural environment for prompt learning. So teacher will create a best possible natural environment for the child. And coming to the discipline, no emphasis on external rigid discipline. So here, strict discipline will not be followed. It recommended free discipline to child in nature for optimum desired learning. Pragmatism. The next philosophy is pragmatism. The main concept of this philosophy is it considers self-activity as a basis of teaching learning process in context of cooperative activity to create optimistic men who are the architect on their own fate by the process of their efforts. Education should be according to the child's aptitude and abilities. So according to the child's aptitude and abilities, the education of the curriculum should be planned, where is respected and the education is planned to cater to his inclination and capacities. Organization and the aims of education. Aims of education is to teach one how to think so that no one can adjust to ever-changing society. In order to produce creative, resourcefulness and adaptable children, we should have conditions in the school which are conducive to the creation of these qualities of mind. It recommends the formal schools to have activity-oriented learning based on the needs, interests, aptitude, and capabilities of the individual students. So in pragmatism, it increases the activity-oriented learning. For example, project method. When the students are doing project, they can enable the advantages and disadvantages about the educational methods. Curriculum. Pragmatists believe in broad and diversified curriculum, which is composed of both content and process and subject ranging from humanities to geography and science. Methods of education. Teaching learning process is a social process where the sharing of experience between the teacher and the students will take place. This method, preferred methods are project methods and activity-oriented learning. So these methods encourage the project methods and activity-oriented learning. The role of teacher in pragmatism. The role of teacher is not that of a dictator or taskmaster, but as a leader of group activities. Teacher acts as a catalyst where he suggests problem to students and stimulate them to find a solution. Teacher is a mentor with resources to guide the students. Discipline. Pragmatism does not believe in traditional form of discipline. It advocates for freedom of self-discipline in a free and conducive teaching learning environment. So the pragmatism encourages the activity-oriented learning and project methods. So these are the four philosophies, namely idealism, realism, naturalism, and pragmatism. Till now, we have seen about the education aims, principles, functions, principles of education, and philosophies of education. Thank you.